Hello, welcome to day number 4 of the XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm really excited. I've been having such a good day, and I also had a lot of coffee. I feel like I discovered my mission for what I'm going to do next year, so I'm like having a lot of happy vibes this morning and this afternoon. So I hope that comes across today. Hello in the chat. Hello, Alessandra and Ahia and Chris and Laura and Sam. Hi, how you guys doing? Are you enjoying the Daily Creative Challenge so far? I know I am. This is actually my favorite that I've done so far, because I feel like I've really put a lot of passion into every design file, and I'm excited about sharing the trends with you guys. So I'm enjoying this one. Hey Dan, how you guys doing? All right, so I'm your host. If you have not seen the previous sessions, I'm Elizé, I'm your host, and I'm a design educator. My whole goal is to make design education accessible, easy to understand, and a good time. So I hope you guys have fun with me today. All right, let's take a look at my screen. Chris says, yay, coffee. I know, right? Sometimes it just gives you that extra pep on a Thursday that helps you just accomplish everything with a little more fun. Alessandra's not having a good day, but my energy is making you feel better. Yay, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're here, Alessandra, and I'm glad that you are working on yourself and your skills and you're helping this community. So thanks for being here. All right, so this is the Daily Creative Challenge landing page. For those of you who are new, this is where you're going to see everything that you need for the Daily Creative Challenge. You can enroll with the big blue button. This is running from November 8th, which was this past Monday, going to December 10th. You have 4 weeks to complete 9 challenges. So, challenge accepted, right? You guys can get all those done in a whole month. Come on, right before holiday season really picks up and you get lazier. So each day you're going to receive a challenge, and today's challenge is right over here, animated onboarding. So this is where you're able to see the unlocked challenge every single day. You can join the community chat right here. This is the Discord channel. This is where you're going to be uploading your design work and getting feedback from mentors and other people in the community, and also give feedback as well. So this is a place where you can really start to network and connect with others. And I would say the design community is one of the best communities, most welcoming, most helpful that I've ever experienced. So you guys are fortunate to have this. So this is where you can upload your work in the channel challenge. That's where you upload it. Under advice, tips and tricks is where I'm uploading my presentations every day that I am sharing with you guys, because I try to make sure that you guys are learning and understanding what we're doing and why we're doing it. And so that's where I put that information there. All right. Chris loves the newmorphism. I'm still having trouble saying it. Are you guys? Newmorphism challenge yesterday. I'm glad you like it. I'm excited to see your work. Speaking of, over here, let's look at some of the design challenges that you guys have uploaded to Behance yesterday. Here we have Tanya's design. Oh, nice. I'm seeing the shadows, the lighter shadow and the darker shadow being used. That's amazing. Great project. We have one from Annie Yang. Annie, good to see you again. Let's look at the design here. Ooh, I see that nice elevated button. I just want to press it and click on it. Nice work with your shadows as well. Let's see what we got here. Yang. Oh, nice. Yeah, I see some work with the shadows there. Looking really cool. And I see the shadows being used here in the sign-in button. Really fun graphics and cool background graphic. Like, it just feels very elevated and eye-catching, and I'm like, ooh, what is this site about? I want to learn more about it. So great image choices. And let's do one more over here. And Andres, let's launch this prototype. Oh, seeing some more shadows here. We kind of went for a darker look, which is really cool. I like the galaxy image selection as well. Oh, it's clickable and everything. We got some hover states. Ooh, when I clicked the button, it like became like it went indented into the background. It feels good. It feels good to click on neumorphism screens, right? Cool. Now, you guys did such a great job. Oh, I see some. Oh, this surprised me. Some animations or maybe a video playing here. Okay, a little surprise, which is a beautiful transition for what we're working on today, which is animations. Today is challenge number 4. We are going to be using Lottie animations to create an engaging onboarding experience. So onboarding can typically mean when someone is getting onto your app or your website for the first time, they don't really know how to use it. They don't know what it's about, perhaps. You are basically onboarding, getting them comfortable with the experience that they're about to have. And one of the things that we typically see are these three kind of introduction slides or 3 introduction screens that help give some clarity to your end user about what experience they're about to have. So this is a type of onboarding that we can do. Okey-doke. So I first want to talk a little bit about trends because, I want to give you that education, guys. I want to help you guys learn what we're doing and why we're doing it. So one of the trends that we're going to be seeing for 2022 is animations with Lotties. Lottie, Lottie, Lottie. If you guys were at the Adobe Max where I gave a whole talk about the new features for Adobe XD, I don't know if you heard this, but it was like, I love you a Lottie was something that came out of it. And I really like that. So love ya a Lottie. And if you guys also have missed just the last few days, my whole thing for the next few weeks is about 2022 trends, UX, UI trends that we're going to see. So I want to keep you guys up to date for the new year, okay? So what are animations? Well, animations just generally, they're the design component that grabs your attention. Like this guy, he's like, hey, look at me. When we see movement like that, it's much more eye-catching than just maybe an image, or especially more eye-catching than text. So what it does is it can help a user, guide a user to a specific area that they need to pay attention to a certain interaction that's happening. It can really help the user experience. But also, it's fun and engaging. You can have fun with animations, make it more playful. This can help to increase conversions and distinguish your experience from others. So let's talk about some common UI animations that are out there. You might see this loading symbol or progress, or maybe you completed something, you might see this check mark. So these are some common ones you see out there. But what is a Lottie? What is the difference? A Lottie is a small animation file, meaning it's a small size. It's easy to use across all devices. And you can scale it up or down without pixelation, unlike if you guys have ever heard of GIFs or GIFs, as some people say. So it's just much faster. It has better visual quality. And so that's why we're going to see this trending a lot more. They can also be used across different platforms without the need for code. We don't need any code for these animations. That's why they're quite small, easy to use. Cool. Let's get into it. So this is the design file that I've provided here. Let's take a look. This is the onboarding screen. We're able to see that animation there. It kind of gives you better understanding of what this app is about, it's not just reading it to help you understand. You're able to see the visual images there. Same thing here. We have a little bit of movement with the animations. Feels good, right? And you feel more like welcomed into the app, into the experience. How do you guys feel about it? How do you feel about the animations I've used thus far? Doesn't it make you just like a little bit happier, just even a tiny? So let's design this. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my artboard, A for artboard, on my keyboard. Oops, let's go in design mode. And I'm going to use this artboard size here. And then I want this background. If you guys can tell, like this is a huge shape. And I mentioned this yesterday, but I don't actually create these vector shapes. I find them on Adobe stock and use those. And if you want to do the same, I want to show you very quickly how to do so. Anne is loving it. So is Alessandra and Laura. Okay, good. See, aren't they fun? Do you love it, Lottie? Yes. So in order to get some free vector shapes, you can go into free in Adobe stock, and you can also just get vector shapes that are not free as well. But if you want free, you can look up like search shapes. And then in the filtering, you can filter for vectors on the left-hand side. And then here you're able to see all these different shapes you can use. So if I were to do this one, I can license this for free and download it as an Illustrator file. Now, if you're like, well, I don't have Illustrator, I don't have access to Illustrator, it's no problem to open up Illustrator files in Adobe XD. So right now, this file is downloading into my file, into my downloads, and over here I can see that this is an Illustrator file. And all I need to do is say open with Adobe XD to then open a design file with those vectors. So never need to go into Illustrator because that could be scary for a lot of us, right? So this is where you can actually use vectors yourself. Of course, there's all types of free things, but that's kind of the first thing there. And then you can like change the colors of them. Maybe I want to make this a solid color. You can play around and have fun with those vectors. Okay, how do you feel about that? Did you guys know about the vectors and that you can open it up in XD from Illustrator and there's free stuff on stock? Would you guys know that? Is this new? I'm wondering. So here I'm going to just copy this vector shape over here. I liked this one, and I'm going to place a Lottie on top. Now, over on the left-hand side, we've been talking about this the last few days. These are plugins, right? These are things that enhance Adobe XD. And again, if you don't know how to use plugins, maybe we can put a link in the chat for you guys, how to look for and download plugins. But over here, I'm just going to do a basic search for food. And let's say I selected food because like I wanted to just select and create things that I enjoy, and I love talking about food. I love eating. So find an onboarding experience that you're excited about. Is it roller skate dancing? Is it talking about the galaxy? Have fun with it. Think about something you're passionate about, an app you would want to see and onboard someone into. So you have a couple options. You can just simply drag and place that Lottie onto your artboard and then resize it if you want. So that's one way. You can also make a shape beforehand, and then you can drag in your Lottie into that shape as well. Now it almost looks like, well, where's the Lottie? There's nothing there. And it just doesn't have an image to start with, but it's there. You can see it and has that little play button. And the thing that I want to show you as well is how you can sort of make adjustments and edit that Lottie a little bit. Now, Lotties, you can use this plugin with all these free Lottie options. You can also make Lotties if you're good with After Effects. And I'm sure there's other capabilities of how people can create Lotties. I don't have that gift, or I've never worked on that skill to make any sort of motion graphics, so I'm just going to use that plugin. But feel free to have creative reign, and if that's something in your toolbox, make your own Lotties, perhaps. Alessandra didn't know you can do that. I'm glad you learned something new with me today. Okay, so I'm in my layers panel now, and I see that I am selected this Lottie layer. Once that Lottie layer is selected, I can make adjustments to it in the property inspector over here on the right hand side. And I can choose whether it's gonna play on tap, meaning if I click onto it, then it plays, or if it's just gonna play automatically. So I'm gonna have it play automatically. And the other option that you would probably be using for this onboarding experience is this loop playback setting. That means it's gonna play over and over and over and over again, right? And we want it to do that. So it's like playing, it has a little animation, but then it's gonna just restart all over again. Cool? So this is really helping to enhance the story of my onboarding of the text that I'm going to use. So I can also add text. I'm just going to select T on my keyboard to make some text there, and I can like food for foodies, whatever text I want to add in there. I can then change the font if I wanted to here, if I want to change the sizing of it. Oops, let's do 20. Where did my font go? I did something bad. Here we go. Food for foodies. And then I can make that centered over here on the up at the top. And then I can center the text. Then I can add some more text if I want to, right? Some more like explainer text. And then from there, I'm going to add this like kind of like it's pagination, or a way for a user to understand where they're at in their steps and how many they have to go. So I'm just going to simply create that with E for ellipse to make a circle. And I'm just going to hold down shift so that it maintains to be a perfect circle. If I don't hold down shift and I click and I select E, I don't hold, it's going to be like an oval, an egg shape, who knows? So if I want to maintain that perfect circle, I'm holding down shift. I'm going to get rid of the border and I'm going to make it smaller. And then I can make a couple of those, just copying and pasting basically. And then from there, I want to change the color of these two so that it reflects, or at least this one, so that it reflects that this is the one they're on. This is important because people might be on here and they're like, I don't want to go through 3 slides, or how many slides is there going to be? 10? I don't have time for this. But if they know it's 3, they're like, okay, maybe I can do 3. Or they see the first 2 and they're like, I have 1 more. I'm going to skip it. And you give them the opportunity to skip onboarding as well. You don't want to force anyone to learn and to read and to interact. You want them to want to do it, right? So that's why we have the skip option, but we also have the ability for them to go through all the onboarding steps as well. This is a UX best practice. Ooh, UX best practice alert for the day. Neil, learning so much stuff. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun and exciting? Like all the kind of cool things that we can do now when we have the tools to do it. And it's so great that we have these Lotties now. I can like make better designs and more interesting designs that way. Okay, so now I'm going to create the button. R for rectangle. And then I'm just going to make it a bit smaller, get rid of the border, and I can put in some text in here. Next. And by now you probably are starting to feel comfortable making these types of things. I'm just grouping this so that it's together. And I'm holding Command G if you want to know the shortcut for a group, or you can just right click and make it a group. Oops. And then I'm going to do the little next button and make that smaller. And then we pretty much have that first screen. I'm not going to have all the bells and whistles on it for now, but this is basically what it looks like, right? From here, I'm going to just make a copy of this, drag it over, and this little shape, I'm just going to move it over. Well, maybe this way. Move it over. Make it a different color, so it just has like a different visual feel onto the screen. This is a choice you can make or not if you want to make it visually have that change, or you can just use the same background colors if you want. I decided I wanted my onboarding to be quite colorful. And then I'm just going to copy and paste this Lottie in. Let's see how this feels. Oh, how cute. Now let's do some of the prototyping here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go now into prototyping mode over in the upper left hand corner so that I can start prototyping. I want it so that when I click this next button, it's going to go into this screen. So I'm just dragging the little arrow over to this screen so it knows you're going to go here when this is selected. The trigger is going to be tap, but the transition I'm using this time is going to be auto animate. Why do I want that? Well, I want it so that this shape is going to have a little movement when we go into this second screen. And this is an option if you want to try it out. You do not have to use auto animate at all. And if you're very beginner, you don't even need to prototype it. Just create your screens and play around with the Lotties if you want, right? We're all at different stages. So here I have my animation and I'm gonna click next. And then did you see the background movement? The little shift? That is auto animate. So it's kind of just making up the difference from one artboard to the next. And the main thing you need to make sure is that it's labeled the same from one artboard to the next. So in my layers panel, this is labeled path 11, the background layer. And it's also labeled path 11 on this artboard as well. That's the most important thing for auto animate. And we're gonna talk more about this in some future sessions if you're like, oh, that's scary. But we have the little onboarding, little animation there. I move over, I got that second animation, and then you would just do the same thing for that third one as well. And you know, I can just do a little bit of it here, but really, move that over, maybe make it yellow. But what I want to show you now is, put that on top. Is how to share this. I got excited. I got like, sometimes you get all into the zone when you're designing and it's hard to like talk and enjoy the play. Ooh, double ones. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now that I'm feeling good about it, I want to share it out. And I want to put it on Behance so that everyone can see it and I can get my Elizé to look at it tomorrow live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select these 3 artboards and I'm going to, first I need to be in design mode. So you're seeing my mistake there. First, you need to be in design mode, then you can grab those 3 artboards and this share icon is gonna pop up. You can select that share button to create a share link. And from here, you can then go over to the share link and click Behance in order to upload it into Behance directly. So from here, now it's living in this Behance file. And I can add text and images to enhance my profile. And I can go into settings and go into project tags and put XD Creative Challenge so that it's discoverable by moi and also discoverable by other people who are participating in the challenge. Laura asks, will they make the Lotties visible on the XD artboards in the future? So it really just depends on how the Lottie was made. Some Lotties you can see in the actual design file here. Like you see this one. It's because the first frame in, like, let's imagine it as a video and there's different frames, right? The first frame has some illustration or something on there. Some Lotties are made without having that first one there. Maybe in the future we will see that, and if we're seeing that this is a complaint, we'll probably also always be enhancing this feature as time goes on. So that's a really good question. The other thing that you can do besides just uploading it onto Behance, if you want to just have the video of this, you can click play, and this is really just for Mac users. You have this ability to record, and so you can record yourself going through this experience here. And then you can stop the recording, save this as an MP4 video file, and then you can upload that into Discord. You can upload it onto Behance, and you can show it to your friends and family and be like, look at this cool design I just did. So there's all that capability there. You can also just upload the images as well. So if I select these 3 artboards, I can do File, Export Selected, and then I can export those as images and share them as well. Now with the Lotties, when you export them as images, it's not gonna look so good. So there is that challenge with the Lotties, like Laura mentioned, right? All right. that's all that I have to share with you guys. And I am so excited to see you guys use the Lotties, a whole Lottie, the next night. And I'm excited to see your design challenges. Please upload them onto Behance so I can give you guys some love and see your designs and share them with everyone. And I hope to see you guys for day 5. Oh, it's going to be Friday. So it's going to be Pajama Jammin' Friday. I'm wearing my pajamas. Hope you wear your pajamas. We're going to play some jams, sing some things. So hope to see you there. All right. Bye.